Hey, Capitals fans, you really thought you were going to beat the Penguins in Game 7 based on your history? Well, I got a laugh for you.
You serious?
Yep. Washington Capitals fans, once again you blow it. I am so dang happy right now. Oh boy, the Capitals. I'm just going to give you a big round of applause. They're absolutely blowing it once again, Game 7. You look so good in Game 6 and 5, but come Game 7, where it matters the most, you do the Capitals thing once again and choke on the biggest game of the year. I am so happy right now. The Penguins deserve this game, and rightfully so. I am so happy Ovechkin is not going to get not going the third round again in his career, and he's never going to. I'm just going to guarantee that right now. He's never going to the Capitals. As long as he's on the Capitals, he's never going to the third round.
Yeah.
His team cannot perform. They cannot perform tonight, and Marc-Andre Fleury was the better goalie tonight. He had a bad game 2 and 5 and 6, but you know what? He played his butt off tonight. He played hard. He stopped every shot. The Capitals couldn't get anything going on offense. They had some great looks, but yet Marc-Andre Fleury, the flower, stopped them every single time. Oh, Washington Capitals fans, you are complete garbage. Especially if you're trying to cheer when Fleury got his helmet ripped off by the defenseman, then booing when they stop play. Dude, you guys just don't know anything about hockey. You don't. Oh my God. Capitals fans, you got what you got coming. You dearly got what you got. Karma's back for you though. Karma's a bitch. Let me just say that. Ovechkin trying to take out Sidney Crosby is the only way to really win the series. Try and get it back because Game 3 you didn't have Crosby for the most game. Game 5 and 6 was tough, but you know what? When it matters most, the right team won, the better team won, and the more skilled team won. This should have been a sweep. This series should have been a sweep, but that one thing happened to keep the Capitals in. And the Capitals, let me just tell you, playing dirty is not going to get you to win. Just look at the Blue Jackets, for example. They were trying to be dirty, and what that get them? Losing in 5 games. You guys should have been out in 5 games, but you know what? I'll give you guys credit. You played one good game, and that was game number 5. Other than that, no. The Penguins have been the better team all series, more composed, a lot better. And once again, the Penguins beat the Capitals on the road in Game 7. 3-0 in Game 7 against the Capitals on the road. I love it. The Capitals prove once again that they can't win anything, seriously. I really would like to see any Capitals fan defend this game. This was a terrible game for the Capitals. Most of the fans left after that second goal because they knew it was over. They knew it was over after that game. So, yeah. Capitals absolutely got destroyed. And the Capitals went full Capitals. I am so goddamn happy. Because let's just say that I have actually a little bit of a tune for the Capitals fans and their team because based on the one song, Don't Start the Fire, I'm going to do a little remix of it. Just a little bit, one chorus remix, and it makes perfect sense for the Washington Capitals. The Capitals are a playoff dumpster fire. They blow it every year when it comes to the postseason. They're great in the regular season, but then they get to the second round, they always blow it. Yep, the Capitals blew it once again. They've been in the Stanley Cup Final once. I will get that. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals twice, and that was not even with Ovechkin. They are a playoff dumpster fire, though. Every time they get to the second round, they almost seem to lose. They proved me wrong only 2 other times. That was in the 90s, though. That was in the 90s. But Capitals fans, prove me otherwise why you're not a playoff dumpster fire. I really want to see it. I really want to see your explanations. Your team is garbage. They played dirty the entire series, And they got what they were coming for. They got their karma back. What goes around comes around, Capitals fans. And you probably play dirty and try and take out Sidney Crosby throughout the playoffs. You guys get shut out in Game 7 at home and look embarrassing in front of your home crowd. I love it. To all those Capitals fans who were so happy thinking they got it, I'm like, oh, we got Game 6. We're definitely going to win now in Game 7. We're going to bring the girls. Oh, the Capitals are so good. Oh my God. Yeah, Capitals fans, you're not getting anywhere. Just saying. They're not getting anywhere because the Washington Capitals suck. And they will continue to suck, and they'll continue to be owned by 3 teams, mainly the Penguins, the Islanders, and the Rangers. They've never advanced past them in the second round. They beat the Penguins once in the second round. They beat the Penguins once, but then lost to the Rangers. So, Capitals fans, just sit down, shut up, and enjoy the golf course because the Penguins are moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, winning 2-0 over the Capitals in the Verizon Center. The Capitals go home, and they will not be back for another Stanley Cup run because you all know why. I was reading a couple of tweets, and the GM saying this is their last chance of making a big run before they got to start rebuilding. And I honestly agree. It's time to start rebuilding, Capitals fans. Your team's going nowhere. They have no depth. They have no great depth. Their team is pretty much garbage at this point. They always do well in the regular season, but then when it comes to the playoffs, they always fall and take a nosedive. You may play well, but you know what? It wasn't enough tonight. It wasn't enough. The Penguins just played better than you. They deserve the series more. We're moving on to Ottawa. Now I'm going to preview this series. The Ottawa Senators versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins will have the home field advantage for this series because of point differential. The Penguins are the second highest scoring, so they'll have home field no matter what. Even if they advance to the next round, the Stanley Cup final, they will have home field advantage well because they have the highest remaining points team. This is going to be an interesting series because I'm going to look back at the Ottawa Senators Penguins series and see how good oh wow, Edmonton just scored. Nice. So yeah, I'm still going to wait on that to preview the Western Conference Final until I think it's time. I'll get into that a little later. But the Penguins been playing very well. I know the Penguins are not the best team against the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators are definitely a good team and definitely are not meant to be messed with. They're a strong team. They have very good forward. They got Carlson. Craig Anderson's a great goalie, but he definitely did show some holes against the Rangers. He definitely did show some holes, and that's going to hurt them. If we could take advantage of that, this will be a quick series because the Capitals, I think, were definitely a tough team, but the Ottawa Senators, they really didn't look strong against the Bruins or the Rangers, which I was surprised about. We did beat them at home 8-5 in the one game. Then we lost them on the road, which is fair. It's tough to play in Ottawa. That's a tough area to play in. And we lost on the road. Okay, so we're 1-2 against them. Not bad, but you know what? We get the home field advantage to start out, though. That's going to be big for us. No, I know it was 1-2 in the overtime. We lost in the shootout. Okay, so this series, it's going to be interesting to say the least. The Penguins do have, I think, the better goaltending in Fleury. He's playing a bit better now than Craig Anderson. Even though Fleury had 2 bad games, he has more good games than bad games compared to Craig Anderson. Anderson's definitely a good goalie, and I will definitely give him. He has some great games, but allowing 5 goals against the Rangers, though, Rangers are not even that good of a team. Like the Rangers, the Bruins, they allow big goals too. I'm just like, they haven't really stuck out as a great team. They've gotten past the Bruins, though, but the Bruins suck. They were the worst team going into the playoffs this year. And the Rangers were just the Rangers. Like, they're a good team, but they're not like the best team. But they do have a good offense. I will give them that. They do allow a lot of goals, though. They allowed 4 goals 3 times in a row. And then they allowed 5 he did have some good games. I will give him that. He is a pretty high goals per average, but this is going to be an interesting series though. But honestly, though, I just think right now the Penguins have so much momentum after being Washington in Washington. They have so much more momentum right now. I think the Penguins are the better team. I think their offense is a lot better. The Penguins had to play against the best power play offense and the best power play defense, I think it was. I'm not 100% sure on that, but the Ottawa Senators are middle to last in their power play defense, and I think they're around one of the lower. I think they're near last in the power play percentage for their offense. I am not 100% sure. Let me go ahead and double check. I'm going to check right now the playoff rankings, power play, NHL. Let me show the stats. I know the Penguins are much better. I know the Penguins definitely do have better. Okay, so here you go. Ottawa Senators, their power play percentage is okay. They're 13th in power plays, and then in penalty killing, they're middle. Okay, so I was right. They're in the middle with their power play killing percentage, and their power play is one of the worst. And the Anaheim Ducks, I don't think they're going to get past it because of how bad they're playing. They just allowed a bad goal to Edmonton. So, yeah, the Penguins just have a better power play percentage active right now. The Capitals really didn't do much tonight, so they'll probably update. But Edmonton's going to be a tough team. Ottawa really doesn't scare me too much. They allow 2.83 goals and then they're allowing 2.75, which isn't too bad, but the Penguins have 3.25 compared to 2.58. The Penguins do match up better. They do match up with goals forced. The Penguins have 39 compared to Ottawa's 34, and goals allowed. The Penguins are 6, while Ottawa's second, but it's very close. It's like 2 goals, but here's my series prediction for Ottawa and Pittsburgh. In this playoff series between Pittsburgh and Ottawa, I think Pittsburgh has won almost every series except one. Ottawa playoff series. Playoff series. Okay, so the Penguins did win their first. I know they last played 2013, and they ended up winning against the Ottawa Senators. Okay, so here you go. First round. Okay, so the Penguins won their series. They won against the last 2. They swept them, so they've won in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah, they won 6. They won in 4. They won in 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Ottawa's won 1 series against the Penguins. That was in 2007. They won their only series 4-1, where Ottawa had the home field advantage throughout that series. But Pittsburgh has the home field advantage, and they lead the playoff series 3-1. And the only time Ottawa won was when they didn't have home field advantage. But the Penguins do have home field advantage. I think this is going to be gone in 5 games. I'm just going to be completely honest. I think the Penguins just are the better playoff team right now. Ottawa's good, but they're not a level of the Penguins right now. So I'm going to say the Ottawa Senators will probably win Game 3. But then I think the Penguins will win. I think they'll win Game 1 and 2 at home. Ottawa will win Game 3, but Penguins will win Game 4 and 5, just like they did a while back. But yeah, I just think that the Ottawa Senators aren't the team right now. They're a great team. I think they'll be a contender for years to come. But I just don't think this year's the year. I think the Penguins are just too good right now, and I just think the Penguins will move on to the Stanley Cup Finals. in 5 games, from what I can see. Now I'm going to preview the other series, even though it is a bit early, but if my prediction changes, I will make a follow-up video. But right now, I'm just going to assume that Edmonton wins because, let's face it, the Edmonton Oilers are a better team right now. They have more momentum, and the Ducks lost 5 straight game 7s. So I really do not like their I don't like their chances right now, even though it is early. I just think that the Edmonton Oilers are just a bit better, but I'm just going to go into the preview for Edmonton versus Nashville. Edmonton will have the home field advantage for this series against Nashville. Either way, both teams have the home field advantage. The Edmonton Oilers will have home field, or the Ducks will have home field. So the Predators are going to have to play on the road either way. The Predators are the hottest team in the playoffs right now. I think they have the best goaltending. I think of the entire playoffs in Pekka Rinne. But this is going to be an interesting series, to say the least, because Nashville is just a really strong defensive team. They've won a majority of their games with only allowing like 1 or 2 goals. Like the entire playoffs, they allowed 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14 goals in 8 games. That is impressive. Their defense is their strong point. That is pretty much how they could win this series, which I think they will. I think this will be a 7-game series. I will think it'll be a 7-game series, but Edmonton's offense is going to be tough for either the Ducks or the Anaheim or Edmonton Oilers offenses to compete with Nashville's defense. I think the only team that could really compete with Nashville style play is Pittsburgh, because the coach for the Predators is a former Flyers goalie, and the Penguins do have success because they played against this coach many times before as the coach of the Flyers, and the Penguins have beaten them a good amount of times. They do have a very good Flyers style of play, the Nashville Predators, but it's going to be interesting to see how this series goes out. My honest prediction is Nashville in 7. I have to be completely honest. It's Nashville in 7. I just think they're going to be the better team. Even though it is their first Western Conference Finals appearance in history, they're going to do the most with it and win. And then I'll think it will be Pittsburgh and Nashville for the Western Conference. The Stanley Cup Finals will be Pittsburgh and Nashville, which will be a great series where Pittsburgh would have the home field advantage, because no matter who wins in the Western Conference, if the Penguins do end up winning the Eastern Conference, they'll have home field advantage throughout the Stanley Cup. So right now, my prediction is even if it's Anaheim or Edmonton, I'm still giving the series to Nashville. I just think they're the much better team. I think their goaltending is unreal, just like the Sharks from last year, where the Sharks had great goaltending from last year from Martin Jones. Pekka Rinne is having a similar run compared to Martin Jones. I think he's having a great run. Their offense isn't as strong as other teams, but they're still pretty good. They have a pretty good team. The Predators do have some very good talent, and I'm going to go back a little bit because I got to find that tab if I'm going to preview the Nashville series. Let me go ahead and take a look. Nashville's goals allowed is the top, which I'm pretty sure. Yep, 1.40 in. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Compare the Sharks and the Blues, Wild, Canadians, Bruins, Rangers, Penguins are the closest, but they'll probably drop down a little bit. They'll probably move up a little bit with that shutout win. The Predators' power play percentage is a little bit concerning at 20%, but it's right at the top 10, so it's not terrible. And they're number 6 for pretty much both penalty killing and playoff, so they're middle of the road. But their strength is their defense. The Predators do have a very strong defense, and that's going to be tough to take out. If I had to be honest about that series, I wouldn't be able to really call it. I'd say it'd be a 7-game series, honestly, but that would just be me. That's just my opinion, but right now, this is just my early thoughts. I'm just still digesting this Penguins win. We'll have to wait till the weekend, I think, for the next game, which will probably be Saturday. I think it'll be I think it's gonna be Saturday, and then the Sunday is the Western Conference Finals, because they're gonna give each team some rest. They're probably gonna give them around 2 to 3 days of rest, especially with if Edmonton wins, they'll have to head back to Edmonton, and then Ottawa will have to come to Pittsburgh, which will probably be a little bit of a rest too. But yeah, that's pretty much my main thoughts, though. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a video talking about the Penguins beating the Crapitals, and yeah, I'll have a funny picture for my thumbnail very soon, though. Once this video ends, I'll try and get a good thumbnail for it. But with that being said, guys, thank you all for joining me tonight, talking about the Penguins defeating the Washington Crapitals in Game 7 2-0, and moving on to Ottawa to play in the Eastern Conference Finals, where Penguins will have home field advantage. What are your predictions for the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals? Let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, see you guys next time. See you later and stay awesome. And go Penguins. And Washington Capitals, you're a playoff dumpster fire.